y'all? Welcome back to my channel and thank you for mobbing with Myrna. So in today's video, I'm going to be making homemade lasagna. And let me just get started and show y'all the ingredients. Oh, and by the way, I don't measure at all. I eyeball everything. So if you're here for some measurements, I'm sorry, I can't give that to you. Just try to follow along and do what makes you comfortable. Alright, so for our ingredients, I got some mild cheddar, and then I got some taco blend cheese, but you can use any cheese that you want. These were just the biggest bags they had, so I grabbed them. I got some French bread for some garlic bread. I got some smoked kielbasa sausage, 3-pound of ground turkey, cottage cheese, and we have leftover Prego and a new Prego, so I'm just trying to finish this up. And then I got some white and brown mushrooms. I also have my lasagna noodles. We always just use one box. It's always enough. And for another side, we just got some Caesar salad. Right here, I got my water boiling for my noodles. And I just put some salt in my noodles to just separate the noodles while I'm waiting for this to boil though. This helps separate all the noodles. And I don't add oil because I want the sauce to stick to the noodles. I feel like if I were to put oil in it, the sauce would just slip right off, and that's not what I want. This pot right here is for my meat. I'm gonna just get to prepping all my veggies and stuff. Okay, so I honestly forgot to mention the onions and the garlic, but I'm gonna be using half a white onion and half a red onion, and some garlic. I use this in everything that I cook. Shout out to my sister Moana. She actually showed me how to make this recipe. This is one of our family favorite lasagna, but it feels weird because not everybody is home, and usually this is like a dish where we all, like as a family, we eat this. But it's, it's still good because my brothers is here, 2 of my brothers, but I'm missing the other 2, my sister, my sister-in-law, and my nieces. So I'm gonna just be dicing these. And I'm just prepping all my veggies right now. One thing that I forgot from the store was green bell peppers. That also gives a lot of flavor in this dish. So if you make this recipe, I'm gonna put it down in the description to grab green bell peppers because I forgot. Remember, try to use as much of your veggie as you can. Don't waste nothing. Just be making slices. I like to keep my garlic big because I like more flavor. Honestly, me and my family, we like biting into garlic. Not too big though, you know, just slices like this. It's thin, so it'll melt right in. Now it's time for the mushrooms. I'm taking it and just doing slices. I don't want to make it any smaller because you're not going to be able to taste your mushrooms. So I just do slices. When I eat my lasagna, I like tasting everything. If I were to dice this, I feel like the mushroom taste is not going to really be there. And since mushrooms are a water-based vegetable, you don't need to rinse these because it already contains a lot of water. Red onion, white onion, and all my garlic here. And when I start off my meat, this is what I throw in. I throw in my onions first. I let that get brown. Once it gets brown, that's when I add in my garlic. Okay, so I'm just gonna cut up my smoked kielbasa sausage while I'm still waiting for the water in that pot to get hot. Don't forget, have your bag with your scraps in it. And I'm just gonna cut this in half and then cut this kind of like, I want it to be like this shape. Okay. Down a bit. All my onions. Okay, so the onions is getting a little brown, so that's when I add in the garlic. And I'm cooking this on medium heat. Let that get brown for a minute.
Open your side of the closet.
And I'll be right back. Okay, so it's getting a little brown. Now I'm going to start adding my meat. And this is 3 pounds of ground turkey. You can make ground turkey taste like ground beef if you season it well. Just push this meat down a little bit, and then I'll come back to you guys once I'm gonna start seasoning. Alright, so that water is almost boiled. Once it starts bubbling, I'm gonna start adding in the noodles. So I'm gonna start adding my seasonings. This is garlic and pepper seasoning. Even though I added onions and garlic in there, I still add onion powder and garlic powder. I can add a lot of seasonings because none of these is salt-based seasonings. If you're using like garlic salt, onion salt, stuff like that, then you can't add a lot of the seasonings. But since it's all powders, it's okay to add your seasoning. Prego. Turn this down to medium. I'm gonna add a little bit of sazon. This is the only salt-based seasoning that I put in. I'm not gonna add the whole thing. I'll just add a little to taste. I don't really like using salt because parents do have high blood pressure and diabetes. That's why I chose to use ground turkey. You always want to taste your meat. Clean as you go. If I dropped some stuff, now we're just wiping it. Ground turkey cooks faster than ground beef. So I'll be back with y'all once it's time to taste this meat to see if I need more seasoning. Remember, you always want to clean as you go. It makes your job way easier once the food is ready. All you have to do is worry about the dishes that you eat with. And we don't got to worry about any dishes because I got paper plates. Hey! Alright, so I just turned this down to medium low. I'm going to put the cover on for 5 minutes and let it cook. Okay, so right now I'm going to taste my meat to see if I need any more seasonings before I dump in the spaghetti sauce. That's good, but I'm gonna add some pepper. And this is peppercorn pepper, so a little bit goes a long way. You see? That's some pepper. And I'm gonna add a little bit of Creole. I really love how that sazon brings out the taste in the meat. Add a little bit of Creole seasoning. That's good. That should be good. Now I'm gonna start dumping in the spaghetti sauce. To use all the sauce in the bottom, this is what you want to do. Add a little bit. So this is to get all the extra sauce. that's left on there out. Wait. Okay, that should be good. And yes, I'm keeping in all the juices from that ground turkey. I'm not draining my meat. And I'm gonna do the same thing. Put water in here. Shake at the bottom. And add the rest. I'm just mixing it in. And this is the time that I add in my sausage, and I also add in my mushroom because the sausage is gonna cook. It's gonna cook fast. Let me turn my pot to medium. And I'm gonna let the sausages and the mushrooms cook in with the sauce. Stir from the bottom to the top. And I'm gonna cover this. When I cover it, I'm gonna just let all the seasonings and the sauce and the meat, I'm gonna let it all cook together. This with just some spaghetti noodles, bomb. Now I'm gonna go ahead and stir this up one more time. Even if you have leftover sauce, if you got some spaghetti noodles in your cabinet, go ahead and use this extra sauce that you have. Alright. I'm gonna let all that cook, maybe on like that temperature. I'm gonna say let's stay medium. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add my noodles in this pot. Put them all in there. One box goes a long way. That's all we use. I'm gonna let that just cook down. And I'll come back to y'all once I start layering in this pan. I like, me preferably, I like using a deep pan because when you use a deep pan, you can make more layers. So I'm gonna use this one. Alright, so I do add in a secret ingredient, but I can't tell you because if I tell you, then I'm gonna have to So the noodles are ready. I'm gonna take them here and run them under cold water. The cold water is gonna help them stop cooking. Free facial, free facial. Let's go. Okay. You want them to stop cooking because they're gonna keep cooking in the oven. I do that. I'm gonna go here. Start washing my pot. Remember, you have to clean as you go. If your mama didn't tell you, I'ma tell you, boy. So right now, I'm just getting my baking sheets ready. Because I'm gonna be making a garlic bread. This is very simple. It's not much explaining. I just cut the. And this is while I'm waiting for my spaghetti sauce to be ready. As you can see, I already have my noodles ready. My baking sheet is right here, ready to be put together. Got my foil. And I'm basically just cutting this in half. Alright. I'm gonna be taking some butter and garlic powder. That's it. Butter and garlic powder and putting it all on the top. And that's my garlic bread. So I'm just putting on some butter. This is regular country crock butter. After that, I just put some garlic powder on it. And it tastes like garlic bread. That's basically it. Once you see your sauce is starting to bubble, that's when your sauce is ready. Now I'm about to start layering. You can see all the mushrooms, the sausage. That's what I like to see. I'm gonna keep saying it. I wish I had more green bell peppers, but it's okay. This will do. I just like to take my finger, swipe that across. Yep, that's some good sauce. Hold on. I feel like I need to add just a little bit more of the secret ingredient. Just a little more. I'll be right back after I do that. Alright, so I added a little bit more of the secret ingredient, and if you know what kills acid reflux, then that's the ingredient. If you don't know, then you don't know, boy. That's it. Let me take the sauce one more time. Remember, stirring from the bottom to the top. Yeah. That's the one. Alright, I'll get back to y'all once I start layering. Let me turn this off. Alright, now we're going to start with the first layer. I want to put some sauce on the bottom so it'll help not stick when it's time to cut through. And you just need a thin layer on the bottom. When you wash your dish, you'll see that there's no leftovers on the bottom. Put a little bit more juice. Okay, that's good. That's just to create a base. Now we're going to add our noodles. That bottom layer, that was just to create a good base, so when I cut through it, nothing won't stick on the bottom. If I were to add that noodle on the bottom, it would stick most likely. So after that, I'm gonna just start my new layer. This is the first layer. You want to make sure every part of the noodle is coated. You don't want see how these spots in the corner, no sauce? You want to make sure that gets sauced up. Now I'm going to add my cheese. This is the shredded taco blend. I know you're like, taco blend? Trust me. Just get the job done, just like all the other cheeses. I would add extra more cheese, but I just want to make sure that all layers got some cheese. Mild cheddar. And we still got some cottage cheese too. I'm not gonna lie, I low-key OD on the cottage cheese. Because it brings a different type of texture to the lasagna. Whichever brand works for you, go ahead. I got all my ingredients from Food Max. They ran out of lasagna noodles at Food Max, so I had to go to Smart and find them. That's okay if the cottage cheese is not in every area, because it spreads out once it cooks. I always buy extra cottage cheese. Okay. Now we're gonna start with a new layer. Remember, the cottage cheese, it melts when it's in the oven, so it's gonna spread, don't worry. Covered for 20 minutes. After the 20 minutes, I'm gonna take it off and then leave it for another 30 minutes. Well, it depends. Depends on how it looks when we take it off. But I will get back to y'all once I take this cover off. I put this in the oven for 350 degrees with the cover on for 20 minutes. I'll be back though. So I put the lasagna on the bottom rack, and then I put the bread in for like 7 to 10 minutes on the top rack. I'm just gonna let it do its thing. You always have to clean as you go. Remember, this is the most important step of cooking. Always want to clean as you go. If your mama, what? If your mama didn't tell you. What? She didn't tell you what was going on. What's going on, buddy? Making sure everything is, you know, ready before dinner. About 10 minutes before that lasagna is done. That's when I'm gonna go ahead and start making the Caesar salad. Okay, so I'm gonna just take off the cover right now. I let this sit in for about 20 minutes. Now I'm just let all that cheese melt. Once I see these sides bubble up, I know it's ready. Alright. Make sure you're scooting it all the way to the back. Because the lasagna is almost ready, we're gonna be making a Caesar salad. And this is all pretty self-explanatory. If it comes in a bag, I bet it, you know. And I'm not putting in the dressing till the last minute. Remember, putting in the dressing at the last minute. We don't like no soggy salad, buddy. Alright. Alright, now start mixing.
Wait, what they having to pay?
I'm gonna add in some crouton. Alright, so we got our extra bread that's ready. And remember, it's just butter and garlic powder. That's all it is. Alright. So
I didn't know this was a napkin.
this is how it looks after. You know it's ready once you see the bubbles on the side. Alright, so this is my plate. I let the lasagna sit for like 30 minutes. That was the hardest 30 minutes of my life because I wanted to eat. First meal of the day. Hold on, let me say my prayer real quick. Alright. Give y'all the first bite. There you go. Ooh. And one thing you gotta know about me, I love mixing my food. Alright. Thank y'all for marveling with me. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on that bell notification so you get notified every time I post a new video. Y'all be smooth now.